Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Joe. Welcome to Recap episode. I don't know what the hell one I'm on. But today we're going to be recapping the following. You got Dennis the Menace, Inspector Gadget, Digging Spike Volleyball, Genghis Khan 2, a Koei joint, and Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. Let's get started. First up, we got Dennis the Menace. This was very reminiscent to me of, oh, Home Alone, honestly. Like, it felt like a graphical update of Home Alone, which is to say, it was really not a good game. um, it follows the story of Dennis the Menace, the movie from the 90s, in like the lightest possible way. And it looked pretty decent, actually. Like, the graphics are good, the sprite work is good, music was okay. The gameplay was terrible. It didn't control well. It was just not fun. I mean, it is a platformer. Any platform that doesn't control well is going to be not fun. So, unfortunately, not a great game. I chose to give this one a thumbs down. Big shock. Next up, we got Inspector Gadget. This is also a platformer based off the Inspector Gadget license, obviously, and I mean, comparable to Dennis the Menace, it's an obvious visual downgrade. I don't think it looked quite as good, but it looked acceptable for what it was. What this game did was theme. Like, there are a ton of gadgets you get. You get extendo arms and helicopter hat and punchy glove and like all these weird different gadgets. Inspector Gadget, you get gadgets. The enemies were on point. They looked just like the dudes from the cartoons. There's a cutscene in between levels where you get to talk to the chief, and he always pops out of something different. And then, of course, you always throw the note back and he explodes. And that shows you drive the Gadget Mobile. The game actually played pretty decently. Sometimes you get kind of weird levels where, like, the gadget, you had to use a gadget to get to a certain point, and that could be annoying. My biggest disappointment, however, for this game, yeah, two big disappointments actually. The boss fights were all like this, which were really weird and didn't care for them. But they didn't license the Gadget theme song. Like, for all the things that were in this thing, it didn't have Inspector Gadget, do 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 do. Like, it didn't have that. I don't know how you license the likeness and not the damn music, but they didn't. And I'm sure there's a reason for that. I don't know what it is. I gave it a thumbs up. I actually did enjoy it. Only probably rose tinted glasses. I really liked Inspector Gadget as a kid, and I thought that this one looked really good and played pretty good. And it definitely gave you that gadgety feel. So, if you like Inspector Gadget, go look it up. You'll probably like it. I gave it a thumbs up. Next up, Dig Spike Volleyball. This is the first volleyball game we've played for the Super Nintendo. Hopefully, it's the last. It's not. It's not that it was completely awful, and if you had a second player, it probably would have been tolerable, frankly. Like, the graphics were okay. No music per the usual sports game nonsense. You had court volleyball, which was like 5-man teams, or beach volleyball, which was just 2-man teams, and actually 2-woman teams. Like, there was not an option to play men on beach volleyball, like you had to be women. The court was obnoxious in court volleyball. You can see the background right there. It's very orangey, yellow, browny. Didn't care for it. In the end, it just, there's my attempt at a serve. You can see me miss. Like, the controls weren't super hard to understand, but it was kind of hard to figure out how to get the timing down. And I mean, you're trying to respond to a ball and hit it back, so getting the timing down is kind of important. The computer basically stomped the crap out of me every single game. I did not enjoy it. Maybe with a second player it'd be more fun, but I gave Dig Spike Volleyball a thumbs down. Next up, Genghis Khan 2, the Clan of the Grey Wolf. This is a Koei super deep simulation strategy war game that, I mean, if you've been watching the show for any length of time, we've probably played 6 games, 7 games maybe by Koei, and I think we've thumbed up 2 of them. They're just too involved. You have to like build up your culture and your people and your rebellions, and you have army and food and money and politics and all this stuff coming together in a 1990s video game console controlled by a controller, when it really deserves something like that. Needs to be on a computer with a mouse, because on a game controller it just kind of sucks. This one actually didn't control terribly. One of the things I did like about it was you get to actually control your fights and move units around and try to arrange them and get tactical advantage. So that was nice. But in the end, the graphics were okay, the music was okay, the gameplay was what you expect. It's a deep simulation strategy war game, and so I gave it a thumbs down. Not worth playing on the Super Nintendo, at least. You need a mouse for these games, in my opinion. It would be very nice, and you have to read like a 50-page manual. And I'm just not willing to do it. I can't do it. So thumbs down for Genghis Khan. Next up, Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. This is a JRPG. And Lufia 2 Breath of Fire is the one I was told was the better game. But this is Lufia 1, Fortress of Doom. And it actually wasn't bad. I am not a... Well, the video just died. Interesting. You're not going to watch a video because I'm not going to try and fix it now. I'm not doing this a second time. For JRPGs, which I'm not usually a huge fan of, it was shockingly good. I enjoyed it. We'll just turn that video back on. You can watch the same clip. It controlled exactly like you expected. The graphics were good. The music was good. I'll tell you what I did enjoy about it was you actually had like everybody on screen constantly. The menu system was fine. The attack system was fine. It was JRPG. It's exactly what you expect. But I don't know. This one just felt better to me. Maybe because I didn't have to grind so much to make movement in it. Like you moved forward pretty quickly without having to grind for an hour between towns. And now I only got like 4 towns in maybe. But I did enjoy what I played of it. And so I think Lufia and the Fortress of Doom is all right. Maybe another hour or 2 into it, I'd be grinding for an hour and a half between towns, and I'd be pissed off again. But at least at the opening, it's fun. I enjoyed it. Plus, the opening sequence starts you actually as like the heroes of the game who died. So you get to fight like the big bosses, and you're super overpowered right at the beginning. And then you go down and play as like the starting level character, which takes forever to level up. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed it, and I gave it a thumbs up. So that's it. Those are the 5 games for this last set. That I don't even remember what set. I think this was set 61, something like that. Recap 61 maybe. So yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Stick with us. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.